What's up, everybody? You know, you might have seen that I did a video recently. I talked about, I asked the question, will WWE, will we have two unsuccessful MITB, Money in the Bank, cash-ins this year or within this time frame? The first one, as we know, came at Raw 1000 with John Cena. Yeah, John Cena won the match, but he unsuccessfully cashed in his briefcase. In other words, he went bankrupt thanks to the Big Show, thus making him the first man to do so. And then I asked the question if they might do the same with Dolph Ziggler. Now, a lot of people are pretty much convinced that they're not going to do the same with Dolph, because right now they got Dolph continuously holding onto the briefcase, which usually is an indication that when somebody holds on to the briefcase, as long as Dolph's been holding on to it, which has only been for about a month now, or going on a month, that person usually will successfully cash in. Now, I know a lot of people are probably predicting that SummerSlam is going to be the night he cashes in. I mean, let's not forget Del Rio did it last year to close out SummerSlam. So will Dolph Ziggler do it as well? Will he do it to kick off SummerSlam, or will he do it in the middle of SummerSlam? Let's say his match with Chris Jericho, which is pretty much a done deal for SummerSlam, goes on before the world title match. Who's to say that, let's say the world title match falls afterwards and either Dolph wins or loses, goes on after that world title match, which would probably come on afterwards. After it's all said and done, whoever the winner is, whether it's Del Rio or Sheamus, who's to say, Dolph won't try to cash in? Now, trust me when I say I would like to see Dolph walk out the World Heavyweight Champion. I would love to see this championship around his waist, because the guy has worked his ass off. I mean, whether you like the guys on the Don and Tony Hassel show, or Don and Kevin show, whatever you want to call it, they are right about one thing. He's the only person out of the entire Spirit Squad that has remained with WWE. Kenny Dykstra, they tried to get over, even giving him a victory over Ric Flair at New Year's Revolution 2007, which I was there live to see in the second row, or second to first row. Even though they gave him that victory over Ric Flair, they really didn't go anywhere with him. I mean, they even paired him up with Victoria, Tara, and that didn't go nowhere. And then eventually he was released. And then you had Johnny Jeter, who pretty much a lot of people thought, okay, he's going to be the one. He's going to be the one that does it. Nothing happened with him either. According to what they said. And then you got Mike Mondo, who right now is Mad Mike Mondo, if you will, in ROH, making a name for himself there, probably trying to get back to WWE. But the thing is, and the point is, out of all those members, Dolph was the only one that survived. He's the only one that has strived and survived to this point that he's in now, in the position he is in now. I mean, why do you think WWE has rewarded him with the United States title? Why do you think they rewarded him with the Intercontinental title? Because he remained true. He could have done what they did and left, but he didn't. He remained true to the WWE. He remained with the company to this very point. I mean, heck, they even let him, even though it was storyline based and it was under controversial storyline situations, they even let him for one night and probably for 1 week, if you want to, like I say, go by storyline, be acknowledged as the world champion. So you would think that through all that, WWE would say, okay, Dolph, you're going to cash in, you're going to be champion. You think that with all that, they would allow him to do it, right? Well, you could be correct, but then again, you could be wrong. You see, WWE, as we have noticed over the past year or so, if not a few years, have had a few exceptions, have given us a few exceptions to kind of doubt ourselves as the smart marks that we are. Have given the insiders, if you will, moments to doubt themselves, like, oh, we didn't, because they would usually pull something like a rabbit or a trick out of their hat, or a trick out of their sleeve, or a rabbit out of the hat that we wouldn't see, and they would make us smart marks as fans, and as well as the insiders, start second thinking ourselves, second guessing ourselves, going like, is doubting ourselves and wondering, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. I thought they were going to do this, but instead they did this. I didn't see that. Which brings me to my point that I brought up in that other video, and the point is, who's to say WWE is not going to have a double unsuccessful bankrupt success of Money in the Bank cash-ins this year, or within this time frame? Who's to say they're not going to have Dolph become number 2 this year, or within the time frame that he has left to cash in? I'm not saying WWE would go in that direction. I'm not saying they would pull that out of their hats and do that and piss off the fans that are supporting Dolph. But the truth is, I wouldn't be surprised. Because you got to think of it this way. They are not about to let, if you want to look at it from their standpoint, and as many fans looked at it, they're not about to let their franchise player, their face, their golden boy, if you will, be the only one to, unsuccessfully cash in. They're not about to let that happen. If you look at it from their standpoint, as well as from other fans' standpoint who probably believe the same thing, they're not about to let that happen. So what better sense to make to them than to have Dolph Ziggler become number 2 in the unsuccessful cash-ins? Now you might say, well, why would they want to do that, Brian? Why would they want to make him unsuccessfully cash it in? He's earned his opportunity. And I agree with you. He has earned his opportunity. But let's not forget one thing. Let's not forget one thing. He's been a world champion before. And it's been on rare occasions that they have allowed someone, in fact it was only one rare occasion, someone to cash in twice that had already cashed in successfully, and that was Edge. And the reason they let him cash in a second time was because Mr. Anderson, Kennedy, when he was in WWE, had an injury that he needed to take time off for, and apparently they had plans for him to cash in before that injury occurred. So my point I'm trying to make here is this. Yes, it'll be great to see Dolph Ziggler cash in and win this championship, because he deserves to be the World Heavyweight Champion. There's no doubt about that. But then again, don't be surprised if WWE decides to not let the Golden Boy, as some people call him, the franchise player, John Cena, be the only one to unsuccessfully cash in. Don't think they're not about to allow that to happen. Because believe you me, they're gonna, if people say they know how WWE works the way they believe they do, then they probably will agree when I say this. Do not be surprised if Dolph Ziggler becomes number 2 and his shot and his cashing in for this championship falls to the wayside as bankruptcy. Don't be surprised. I mean, I would like to see Dolph win the World Championship, I would. But knowing WWE and how they work, it may not happen. But then again, I'm hoping I get swerved here. I'm not hoping I get swerved, but I'm hoping I'm proven wrong here. But knowing how WWE is at times, and lately, don't be surprised. So, that's all I'm going to say. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll talk to you later.